All right, Chelsea, whenever you're ready.
All right, we all know these kind of people. The ones that always tend to wake up on the wrong side of the bed. The ones that are destined to be raised in a barn. That must be their past, I'm sure. The ones that think the world revolves around them, and if your textbook says otherwise, your textbook is wrong. The ones that know all, and if Google contradicts that, Google needs to be fixed. The ones that have perfection all figured out, but won't bother to share with the rest of us. It's these inconsiderate people that really get under my skin. I come face to face with them daily, so I've definitely had my fair share of experiences with them. 3 instances in which it's very strong that there's inconsiderate people most all the time is in the restaurant, when you're on the road, and when it comes to religious tolerance. Restaurants is a fine example of inconsiderate people, and it's something in which everyone visits for the most part on a regular basis. I've worked at Ruby Tuesdays on North Glenstone now for 4 years, so I've had my fair share of experiences when it comes to that. One thing I do not understand is when people go out to eat in the worst of moods. I do not see how that's enjoyable to sit there, pay for your meal in public, and hate your company. You might as well have just gone home, made a box dinner, ate in your separate rooms, and gone with your guilty fix of reality TV shows. Another thing that really twerks me is when you're sitting there and you ask someone how's their day, and your answer is, I want a booth for 2, please. Could you have made it any more obvious that you were not listening to a word in which I said? I feel like everyone should be required to work in the restaurant business for a certain amount of time because people forget that they're normal people and it's not their life. And I feel like there'd be much more pleasant people to serve and it would just make everything much better. It would also keep these inconsiderate people from hitting the roads, which leads me to my next point, which is inconsiderate people on the road. Road rage is one of those things I just don't understand. If there is traffic that is not moving and you are yelling obscenely and honking crazily, no one can control that, so you just need to cool your jets. I definitely like the country roads much better. They are more forte. And the OTC parking lots, another prime example of people driving like crazy people. Like when you're looking for a parking spot, everyone's like a pouncing tiger looking for their prey. And when that spot opens up, God forbid, someone's going to hit someone. Like, you will ram for that spot. And another thing, if I could count the dinks on my vehicle that I have acquired while being at OTC, I'd be rich. It's ridiculous, and never once have I got an apology note. Another thing being, with the richness, would be the denominations in which we have here in the Bible Belt, which brings me to my next point, which is inconsiderate people when it comes to religious tolerance. With Christianity, we have a ton of denominations like Catholics, Baptists, Presbyterian, Assemblies of God, Methodist, Lutheran, just to name a few. All of them have their own kind of different translation of the Bible, but all of it really goes to the end that God is our Almighty, and it's the same message in which everyone goes for. And I feel like we concentrate more on who's wrong and who's right than the fact that we all have a great message to share. And I feel like it's just really inconsiderate when people will belittle someone else's religion and that they'll talk down on their belief. They believe it for a reason, and so I feel like we should all respect those people for what they believe. And instead of this constant battle we have with who's right and wrong, I feel like we should realize everyone has a great message. And in the end, it's really the same message with the same end goal. So in conclusion, there are inconsiderate people everywhere when it comes to eating in your favorite restaurant, when you're driving down the road, or those people that just share their overbearing ideology. So next time you sit there and you just want to pull your hair out because someone's being super inconsiderate, just know that you're not alone in this battle.